Hi crafters, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards and I am really excited to be showing you today how to create this beautiful Christmas card using some of our new products from the Frosty Christmas collection. I absolutely love how magical and fabulous this sleigh looks. So we're going to be using the Frosty Christmas foiled paper pad. We're going to be using the Reindeer and Sleigh stamp and die set, and we're also going to be using the Snowflake circles as well. As always, all of the goodies that I'm using are linked in the description below, and you can shop everything online at www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. Okay then, let's get started. So I'm going to show you how to create these gorgeous little reindeer first. So to start with, I've got a piece of the Crafter's Companion Nina card. So this is perfect for colouring in onto with your marker pens, your alcohol markers. I've got my little reindeer stamp here, so I'm going to pop him onto our block. And you can see within this stamp set, it comes with the matching dies as well. You've got your sleigh, you've got your little presents that fit in the sleigh, and you've got that gorgeous reindeer as well. So we're going to grab in our clear embossing, our grey ink pad, so that's a Versafine Clair in Morning Mist. And I'm going to grab in my clear gloss Superfine embossing powder as well. To start with, I'm just going to give a little dust over my Nina card with a little anti-static bag. And then I'm going to take my ink pad. I'm going to ink up my reindeer. And then I'm going to place that down onto the card and press. I'm going to lift that off. For this particular project, you'll need to do 3 of the reindeer. I'm going to cover that with my clear gloss Superfine embossing powder. Tap away the excess. And then we're going to heat that up. You don't necessarily need to emboss the images if you don't want to, but personally I quite like to emboss them. So we're going to just hold that heat gun still. As soon as we see that embossing powder start to melt and change, we're just going to chase the embossing powder over the image. Like so. So you're going to need 3 reindeers for your project. I've already got some that I've done. So I'm just going to do the one to show you how to colour them in. So I've got some Opaque marker pens here and I've got lots of different colours. I've got various shades of brown to colour in the reindeer. So I'm going to start off with I'm going to go for a little bit of dark brown to start with. So what I'm going to do is go in with my dark brown just around the edges here. So just on his little chest, under his little tummy there, down the bottom of his legs like so. And then around here, I'm going to pop a little bit of colouring just onto his tail. And then I'm going to pop a little bit down here as well. I'm just adding that little bit of shading on. I'm going to pop a little bit at the top of his antlers, a little bit at the back of the neck, and then a little bit just across the back, like so. I also quite like to just colour around the little bells with the darker colour as well, just to add a little bit of shade. So it looks a little bit weird at the moment, but what we're then going to do is start and go in with some lighter colours and lighten it up and blend it. So I like to go in with my palest colour next. So this is Brick Beige that I'm using. So literally I'm going to colour this all over the image. So again, it's not going to look very blended at the moment, but trust me, it is all going to come together. So we're going to go in with that Brick Beige. Add this colour all over the image. Like so. And I know we haven't blended out that darker colour yet, but trust me, bear with me, it's going to look fab in the end. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to start and go in with a couple of other darker colours. So I've got chamois here, which is a lovely brown. Start and go in and blend out where we've got this darker brown colour. Really start to add a bit of shading in. And you can see it is starting to help to blend out that darker colour that we've obviously already popped on there. Okay, so we're going to go in with a little bit of colour just on here. So this is sand that I'm using now. I'm going to use that to just blend out. So I'm trying to get a little bit of this, more of this colour in, and then I'm going to go back over with my brick beige just to blend over this whole image. So when you go back over now with your lighter colour, you can really see how it makes the image kind of pop. Like so. Bring a little bit more colour in just at the back here. And that's the thing, you can always go back and add a little bit more colour, but you can't really ever take it away. Like so. There we go, so you can see how beautiful and shaded that's now looking. I'm going to colour his little nose in brown. I'm going to add a little bit of pink to his ear, so this is tea rose that I'm using. I'm going to use a yellow, this one is cadmium yellow, just to colour in around his little neck piece here, just over those little bells. And then I'm going to take a warm grey, this is warm grey one, just to colour in his little hooves, like so, and also just to add a little hint of colour into the antlers. Okay, I'm then going to take my die and I'm going to pop this directly over the top. I'm going to use a little bit of low tack tape to hold this in place. So I'm going to pop my die over, so you just want to hover, get your die in the right position. Then once you've got that perfectly lined up, I'm going to just tape that into place. And then we're going to take our plates for our die cutting machine. So I'm using my Gemini, so I've got my base plate, my plastic shim and my cutting plate on the top. I'm going to run that through my machine. And then we're going to grab that at the other side. And just push that out. Okay, so that is our lovely little reindeer. all nicely die cut out. We're going to bling him up a little bit now. So we're going to add some little jewels onto his collar. So I'm going to use my tweezers to do that. So these are our self-adhesive sparkles that I'm using. And this is from the yellow pack. Ooh. So just going to take these little jewels. Just pop these onto his lovely little, oh, I'm pinging them all over here. Pop them onto his lovely little collar there. There we go. So you can see how gorgeous that's then looking. I'm gonna add a little, I've got a clear jewel. And a little clear jewel just onto his nose as well. Slightly smaller one will probably be better. There we go. And then we're going to add a little bit of glitter to his antlers. So I'm going to use a holographic silver glitter. So this one's Get Down and Boogie, which is one of our older ones. I'm just going to trace around the antlers. Like so. And then we're going to cover that with that lovely holographic silver glitter. So we're going to grab our glitter. Sprinkle it over, tap away the excess, just push that up there. There we go, and then you can see that is our first little reindeer all done. Okay, and doesn't that look just fabulous? So I'm going to pop that to one side. I've got my 3 reindeers that I've already done that have dried. The only thing I need to do is pop the little jewel on the noses. So I'm just going to whiz along and do that now. There we go. So those are my dry ones. We'll use those on the project. What we're going to do next is we're going to create the fabulous sleigh. So to do that, it's really, really easy. We're going to take a piece of the Lapis Lazuli. You can use either the paper or the card. I've got one that's already done and dry. But you're going to take your sleigh stamp. Okay. You're going to pop that onto your block. Get rid of that reindeer. So the sleigh's going to go on the block. You're going to take your anti-static bag, give your paper or card a little dust over, and you're going to use Opaque Bright White Superfine for the embossing powder. So I'm going to start off by inking up my stamp with my clear embossing ink pad. Sorry, I'm getting all confused with the different powders. I'm going to pop my sleigh down and press. We're going to lift that off and we're going to sprinkle over the Opaque Bright White Superfine embossing powder. Give it a little shimmy. And we're going to tap away the excess, like so. And then we're going to heat this up. So again, I'm going to use my heat gun. So all I'm doing is holding my heat gun still. As soon as that embossing powder starts to melt and change, I'm just going to move my heat gun over the image. Like so. I'm going to take my little reindeer die. I'm going to take my sleigh. Pop that over the top. Trim that out and we're just going to die cut the sleigh. So again, I'm using my base plate, my plastic shim, my cutting plate on the top. I'm going to run that through my Gemini machine. And we'll just grab that when it comes out the other side. Like so. Then we're going to take our glitters. So I'm going to use the silver hologram that we've already used. So this one is Get Down and Boogie. This is an older one. We're going to go along and glitter every other line on the sleigh. So we're going to do this one here. So just going to whiz along and glitter in each little section like so. We're going to cover that with the Get Down and Boogie glitter, and we're going to tap away the excess. Any remainders going to go straight back into the jar. And then I'm going to take Snowball, which is one of our new glitters. This is like a clear holographic glitter, so it's going to let the navy blue shine through from underneath. Again, I'm just going to infill with my glue. Like so. And we're going to cover that with the Snowball glitter. It's going to go back into the jar. Okay. So we're going to leave that to dry. When that dries, it's going to look like this one here. So you can see how you've got your silver glitter, and then you've got your clear holographic one in between as well. So we'll pop that to one side. And we're going to start and build up the base card. So to start with, I've got a piece of silver mirror card, which I'm going to stick down onto my card flat. Okay, so that's going to go onto here. Like so. And then I'm going to pop some foam pads onto the back of this next layer. So this is one of those absolutely gorgeous papers from the Frosty Christmas foiled paper pad. It is stunning. I love this one. And the lovely rich navy blue. Really, really nice. So then we're going to whip the backs off of this one. Okay, and that's going to go down onto our base card like so. Then taken our gorgeous circle frame die. So this is beautiful. This is one of the new die sets. It's 8 by 8 in size. So I've cut a piece of card down to 8 inches square, and I've taped my die into the middle. I always like to make sure I put 4 bits of tape on this one, just so it doesn't move when we run it through the die cutting machine. So the plate combination is you're going to use your base plate, your plastic shim. You're going to put your die cut side up. You're going to pop that cutting plate on the top, and we're going to run that through. I'm going to grab that plate at the other side. I'm going to rotate it around 90 degrees and run that through the die cutting machine again. I'm going to grab the plate at the other side, and when we lift this away, we're going to have our perfectly die cut snowflake frame. All you would need to do is just spend a little bit of time poking out the little bits that have been left in the paper, but you can see you give those a little press and they literally are just going to fall out for you. Okay, so you can see how beautiful that then looks. So if I lift that over to one side, I've got one that I've already done. So what I've done with this one is I've taken some of the jewels from that gorgeous Frosty Christmas Bling box, and I've gone for the blue ones, and I've just gone round and dotted the jewels onto the background. Then put a double layer of foam pads onto here to give it extra depth and dimension. And I'm going to stick this down onto my base card. So that's going to get, oops, my word, there we go. It's going to get stuck in the middle of my card like so. So that's really adding extra depth and dimension. I've then taken the next die in the snowflake circle and die cut that from silver mirror card. going to just whip the backs off there and pop that down in the middle. And then we've got another lovely one of the papers that I've die cut, and that's the next circle in again from the die set. And we've just die cut that one out. So this is going to create the background for where we're going to stick our sleigh. Okay, so you can see how gorgeous that's looking. I'm going to go and add my little jewels into the corners as well. So I'm going to pop 3 in the bottom corner here, 3 up here, 3 across here, and 3 down here. I'm going to grab in my little bling box. So we want 4 of the large ones, 4 of the middle size, and 4 of the small. And then I'm going to take my little gem picker upper. I'm going to do a large, a medium, and a small in each corner. So I'm going to work my way around and stick these on. Sometimes it's just a little bit easier to do this before you get all the other elements kind of stuck in place. Okay, like so. So you can see that's looking fabulous. So we're going to start off by putting our sleigh into position. So I'm going to again put this on like a double layer of foam pad so you get some real depth and dimension to it. So I'm going to grab my scissors, I'm going to cut a foam pad in half, and then I'm going to stack it on top of each other. Now you can just see the foam pad there. I'm going to just trim that little part off. There we go. So my sleigh's going to go about here. Then got our 3 reindeers. So we're going to put 1 at the back and 2 in front like this. Okay, what you can do as well if you want to is you can create some like little reins for your sleigh, for your reindeer. So you can have them coming out of the sleigh. So I'll cut 3 bits of ribbon. There we go. So then when we come to put the foam pads on the back of the reindeers, we'll just cover where we've got the little reindeer ready. Get stuck on. He's got a bit of a longer bit of rein, so we'll put him up here. So I'm just very lightly pressing them down as well. I'm not sticking them fully into place yet. This one. Again, using the little reins. So we want a foam pad in half. Just checking you can't see that foam pad from the front there. He's then going to go about here. And then get this final one done. I'm going to cut a longer length of ribbon. I'd rather have the ribbon a bit too long than too short. So then for this one, he's just going to get a single layer of foam pads because he's going to be a little bit further back, so he's going to be more in the distance. So if we pop that there, that on there, pull that away. So that's then going to go onto here like so. So it looks a bit weird at the moment, but bear with. Right, so what we can then do is we can feed the little reins onto the sleigh. So I want to kind of affix it there. So I'm going to lift my sleigh up. I'm going to pull all of these ribbons back. So we want a little bit of adhesive here. So if we get these all back so they cross over in the same place, then be able to do is if we position our sleigh over the top, be able to pull those reins nice and tight, and then it's always a little bit fiddly, but then you can go in with your scissors and you can just trim away the loose bits. Okay, and I'm going to flip that round. I'm going to put a little bit of all-purpose glue under here. Then that's going to give us the bit of manoeuvrability that we kind of need to get it stuck down in place. So that's going to go there. So you can see it's all coming together beautifully. What I've then done is taken some of the little presents that you get within the stamp and die set as well, and I've glittered, just stamped and embossed them in silver and then glittered them up with various different glitters. So I'm going to just trim down some foam pads and we'll stick these into place. So we're going to put this little one at the front here, one at the back there, and we're going to put another one in here like so. So you can see I've got all my little presents in place. And I'm going to take a couple of little jewels just to bling up my sleigh. So these are from our self-adhesive sparkles. One there, one down here, like so. You could go to town as well if you wanted and add in some little tiny jewels across where the little dots are on your sleigh too, if you wanted to. So these are from the Sparkling Silver self-adhesive sparkles, and they are utterly beautiful. So I'm just following where the little kind of dots are on the stamp. There we go. So you can see that's looking really, really beautiful. What I would now do as well is I would just start to add some little jewels into the background. So I'm going to grab in my bling box and I'm just going to put a few little kind of random dots into the background, and I think this gives it a really magical look. So then I'm going to take some of the blue jewels, but just the small ones. And then I'm going to add in some of the little white pearls as well. These are pretty, the white pearls. like so, and then you can go in with some of the little self-adhesive sparkles and dot some of those about too if you want to. Got a few silvery ones there. So I just dot these about into the background again, and again I just think it makes it look really magical by adding these little jewels in. It looks so pretty. It kind of gives that magical appearance, doesn't it? Which is what we're wanting to do with reindeers and Christmas. It's all really magical. Okay, so I've got a bow that I have already tied somewhere. There we go. This was just from some white ribbon I had in my craft box. I'm going to pop that down in the top corner, just using a glue dot. Okay, it's going to go up here. I'm going to add a little bling store into the middle, like so. And then I'm going to stamp and emboss a sentiment. So I'm going to do my sentiment actually onto the Lapis Lazuli pearl card. So I'm going to use one from the Snowflake sentiment set, and I think I might go for From Our House to Yours at Christmas. So again, I'm going to take my stamp, pop it onto my block. I'm going to take my little anti-static bag. You know what, I'm going to trim it down so you only really need that little bit of glue paper. So I'll take my anti-static bag, give it a little dust over. Going to take my stamp, I'm going to ink up, place down and press. Then I'm going to use my Opaque Bright White Superfine embossing powder. Sprinkle that over. Tap away the excess. I'm going to heat this up. So just holding my heat gun still, waiting for that powder to change. There we go. I'm going to take my little guillotine and trim this down. I'm going to mat this onto a little bit of white card and onto a bit of silver. So let's trim this down first. Glue on the back. I'm going to use the back of my scrap paper just for a little white mat. This. Oops. I always give you glue chance to dry. There we go. There we go, and then we'll mat that onto a little piece of silver mirror card as well. Because I'm wanting to trim this, I'm going to use my art glitter glue because it just grabs a little bit quicker than the koal. There we go. So I'm going to pop that onto here. So I'm going to just put a little foam pad on that part there. And there we go. And that would be your finished card. So I really hope that you have enjoyed making this project with me today. Please do have a look on our website, chloescreativecards.co.uk, where you will find all of the goodies that I've been using to make this particular project. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got loads of ideas and inspiration on there. And of course, everything's in the description below, so please do have a little look. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you. Bye.